Guys, today we're going to talk about what the requirements are to get into medical school. It's Dr. Neek. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my videos. I will be uploading new videos every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. In today's video, I have a special guest. It is Mr. Damar. Guys, today we're going to talk about what the requirements are to get into medical school, what medical school is like, and what it's like becoming a doctor. Okay, Damar, tell us a little about yourself.
So hello guys, I'm Damar Najir. I'm a third-year medical student and I also have a YouTube channel, so I would like you guys to check out that channel. It's called the D&N Medical Series.
So I've been getting a lot of questions about what is required to become a medical student, how to get into medicine. As you guys know, I completed medicine decades ago. You know, I'm not as young as I look. but so a little about my experience getting into medical school. I went to Woma's Trust High School for Girls. I completed 5th form, then I did 2 years of upper 6, right? I would have done biochem, physics, math, communication studies. Yeah, right. Then I did 1 year of applied sciences or pre and applied science at UA, where again I did biochem and math and something else I can't recall at this current time. And then I applied to medical school. You know, this was over a decade plus, so has it changed?
Has it changed much? Not much. I think it's the same. 6C first, so 5 6Cs: bio, chemistry, and physics. You know, the 3 science subjects, maths and English, right? And then when you do K, it's bio and chemistry plus any other unit. So no, it's not physics or math, but you can do Spanish, you can do MOB. If there is a 6th form course that you're more comfortable with and know that you can get a better grade in, you can do that because they will accept it along with the communication study.
Okay.
As Monique said, there's also the route for pre and applied sciences. So if you try in CAPE and you don't get through, no worries. You can go to pre and apply for 1 year and then you transfer to the medical science faculty the next year.
Oh.
If not, you can also finish degree and then you go to medical school, because that's how I did it. I did my degree in biochemistry and then I went over to medical school. There's also the option for you to get a master's or a PhD. On the current U system, master's is valid 4 extra points and PhD is valid 6 extra points. So if you want those extra points to get you through the program, then that's also an option.
Okay, awesome. So I guess there's not really much of an age restriction on that aspect.
No.
Right.
Trust me, there's no age restriction. There are persons in my class who are in their 30s, 40s,
right,
and stuff, and they still come into medical school. There shouldn't be an age limit on when you should achieve your goal. Everybody's different. I
agree completely. And you know, a point to take away, when I was applying for medical school, you know, the decade and so ago, what really happened, it was like taboo for anyone to leave high school and then go directly into medical school.
Yeah.
Right? So almost everyone had like an undergrad degree, or they would have finished 6th form, applied for medical school, and then they had to go like on a waiting list.
Yeah, deferral. Yeah.
Right, so they got deferred. So when I applied for medical school after 1 year of pre and applied sciences, you know, those persons who would have applied straight off the bat were just coming out from the deferral. Yeah, so that route works.
Yeah.
It works. Okay, cool. So we know about the subjects. Tell me about what medical school is like now. Again, you know, a decade plus. The brain is kind of getting a tad bit old.
Well, I understand. Mine too. But I think now we're in a pandemic, so it's kind of different. But pre-pandemic, we'd have been in pre-clinicals. So you'll have lectures and tutorials and your anatomy lab, right? Anatomy lab is the physical part of the preclinical. So you go to the labs, you work on the cadavers, try to identify like the blood vessels, the nerve and things like that. So before that, it was just a lot of classes, lot of studying, as you would imagine, and yeah, a lot of time spent in the anatomy lab and getting used to that smell.
Yes.
Right.
Cadavers.
Right.
Right. So for the first 2 years of medical school, it's the preclinical where you're mostly just doing lectures, the
Core
study, core values and stuff like that. And then, as you said, you know, the clinical aspect where you're actually on the wards in the hospital, you're there interacting with patients, learning and so forth. For me, you know, throughout medical school, it was always study, library. I'm tired, I'm fatigued. And I recall that I'm somewhere between the gym and the University of the West Indies Student Union. That's where I tend to be.
So she's always been in the gym, guys. As you can see, up to this point, she's still going to the gym.
It helps me to de-stress.
Right?
It helps me to de-stress.
Right. Among other things. Right.
So for you, what is your typical experience like? What has it been like?
Right. So as again, I was saying there's a lot of studying. Right. You have to hit the ball and start just studying, practicing from the get-go. I know you're used to CAPE, and a lot of people come into medical school with the same CAPE mentality where they're like, okay, I can just use 3 days to study and then I'll be fine. Like that cannot work. That cannot work. Understand? You have to keep up to pace because you're getting at least 8 lectures a day. Right. 5 times a week. So that's like 40 lectures a week. So if you leave 40 lectures a week until the week of the exam, then that's almost impossible. And so you have to hit the groundwork from early. You need to find a group of students. Med school, that's one thing everybody will say. And then you learn that it actually makes sense. You need a group of people because we're not strong in one year. For example, I wasn't strong in anatomy, but I had friends. So we go to the lab in the evening, they will show me stuff so that I could prepare for my anatomy exam. So you need a group of friends, good friends, dedicated friends will push you along and just help you to go get through med school.
Yeah, and that's a good point because with regards to medical school, I think I had like probably 4 or 5 study groups.
4 or 5? Wow.
Yeah, I study a lot because, you know, I'm always like intrigued to learn more and so forth. And a big part of medicine is so much information, so much knowledge, and 5 years really isn't that long, you know. It really seems as if 5 years is so long, but when you have the entire human body that you need to learn about, plus the diseases, the pathophysiology of how the drugs, the treatment, I mean that is a lot. And as Damar rightly said, you know, you need to get it going. Like you cannot lapse. There is no, I'm going to study the night before. That does not work for medicine. Yeah. All right, awesome, cool. So we talked about what it is like being a medical student. You know, you're always studying, you're always in the books. But what's the tuition like? Like, again, Damar, I'm gonna, guys, decade. I'm pretty sure the prices have changed. I know the University of the West Indies quotes in US dollars. The dollar fluctuates.
Right. I know it's at 150?
Somewhere along that line.
Yes. So the school fee keeps increasing.
Right. When I entered medical school in 2010, I had the government sponsorship, right? And it was somewhere around 500 and something thousand that I would have paid per year, and that is times 5 years. But I believe the tuition was 2.2 million per year. Like that was a full tuition at that point, times 5 years, guys. So
it's like 11 million.
11, and I would have paid somewhere between 2.5 to 3 million for my tuition. you know, along with some bursaries and stuff like that. But what is the current tuition like? Give me a breakdown. Do they still have these government sponsorship? Do they have the U bursary? What is it like?
Alright, so let's start from the smallest amount you can pay up to the largest amount.
Sure.
So as Monique rightfully said, there's a government sponsorship. However, in recent time, there has been a lot of problems with the government sponsorship because a lot of people, they research how to get you from Medschool. They're hitting all the ones in Cape. And if everybody has, if 100 people has all ones in Cape, then who gets the government sponsorship? It's kind of like very difficult at this point. So there's challenge with that. I think last year there were basically no government sponsorship because it was already filled from the year before. So they're having problems with that, and so
so those persons had to be deferred
and things like that. So the only option at that point was to pay the full tuition, right? But there's also the bursary if you qualify for the full tuition fee. So the full tuition is $28,000 US. Yes, $28,000 US. That's about like 4 mil
per year.
Per year, right?
Per year.
So you're looking at a 20 mil. To cover your med school if you're full fee paying, right? But the university offers what we call a bursary, and that pays 50%. So you basically pay about 1.8 million per year, right, with the bursary. So the bursary, before they usually give most persons on the full tuition once you show that you can pay the 1.8, they will give you the other 1.8, right? Because they don't want to like pay the 1.8 and then you can't find. So you need to submit information to show that you're capable of paying the 1.8. And these days, even the bursary, only a small amount of persons are getting it at this point, right? So it's very competitive.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so 28,000
yeah. Right.
I just had to reiterate that. That's a pretty penny or two.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what it is currently. So we learned about the finances, and that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
What are the scholarship options? Like, can you get any subsidies with regards to these tuition? I did back in
a decade ago. Right.
I did. You know, and what is available now?
Right.
Let them know what's available now.
All right. So as I said before, the first scholarship opportunity would be the bursary because it's a form of scholarship. You still need to maintain a GPA. You still need to qualify for it. Okay. And the bursary, I must say, you have to be a citizen of one of the, is it CARICOM? CARICOM countries, right?
Okay.
So if you're from India or from the US, you won't get the bursary. It's for only the CARICOM countries, right? So if you do qualify for that, that counts as a scholarship. However, what I find odd is that if you're a full fee paid student, you cannot get a scholarship from the university itself, right? But if you're on the government sponsored paying the 700,000, then you can get scholarship, which seems weird, right? Because you think that you are paying 28,000 in Jamaica, majority of person cannot afford that, so you would need like scholarship and stuff to cover it. But no, it's not like that. But the government does help, and that's an avenue for scholarship you can explore. The Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, they have scholarship. They have grants as well. There's the JAMVAT program. I would encourage everybody to do the JAMVAT program. I did it for 2 years, and basically just do 200 hours of community service, and I choose the hospital because I'm always there and it's closer and convenient and it works for me, and they'll pay I think $350,000 from your school fee if you're a full fee paying student. There's also things like Chase Fund, NCB Foundation gives scholarship, and there are loans, right? I know a lot of people get scared when you hear loans because you have to pay back. It's like a scholarship, right? But I'll encourage you to explore all the options you can. If you find that you're having challenges just the same, even with the scholarship, then if it's a loan standing between you and being a doctor, then I personally will choose getting the loan. Right? There's also loans from other institution. I know the credit union, a lot of people have been talking about credit union, that their interest rates are lower. Maybe you can explore credit union or bank loan to see if it's better than student loan. But I wouldn't write off loans overall.
Okay.
Right.
Alright, good point. And also, back in my decade, I got sponsorships from other entities. You know, it's not just the scholarships that are listed and the ones from Ministry of Finance. There are other avenues. You know, there are persons that your family might know. There are other companies that might be willing to invest in you and your education. And also the university actually has a bursary with like a ton of other small contributions. It might be small, but it actually does make a big difference. You know, I got bursaries from books, persons got for groceries, some got for I think hall, they got the hall, and for the persons who play sports, they actually do get bursaries also and they get different type of scholarships. So you could always try and check in different avenues. I'm from the inner city. You know, my parents definitely could not have afford to send me to medical school.
And I'm from the poor parish of St. Mary, so my parents definitely couldn't afford that. So I think a point that you have to take note of is that you have to seek these opportunities. You cannot sit down and say, oh my God, I hope I'm going to get a scholarship, but you don't apply, right? It's just like the lotto. If you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. So if you don't send out your resumes for the opportunities, you're not going to get the opportunities. And it's funny, but I can remember when I was in first year and I didn't have the tuition money, and like I had some problems with my application, so I ended up going in like October. Say no, December coming up, tuition needs to be paid. I can remember just walking with letters telling my story and the need for sponsorship, etc. And I dropped them at different locations, and people did call. So you cannot just sit down, you just have to seek these opportunities and make use of them at the same time.
Right. And I think there's also I think Scotia, NCB and Chase Fund that you can always look down that avenue also. So there's a lot of information out there, and you can like Google. Yeah, you could
Google should be your best friend at this time. Type in Jamaican scholarship for this, scholarship for medical science, you know, get specific at times. Right? But just seek those opportunities. Definitely.
Right. So finances should not be a deterrent. Should not be a deterrent at the end of the day, and it should not stop you from achieving your dreams.
And I think a lot of people too, I was like that first, where you said you want to see the entire tuition before you start. And a lot of people don't know that you're not going to see 20 million sitting in front of you. Nobody has that money. But if you start,
we don't have that
money. Yeah, some people do, but for majority of us, we don't have that money. So just make a start sometimes. Just push yourself and say, okay then, I'm going by faith and get the first tuition and apply for second tuition, get it. If you need to sit out a year or stuff, just ensure that you're on the path to getting where you want to be, right? Because at the end of the day, if you sit at home, you're still going to sit and do nothing.
And again, if it's your dream, I'm a dream chaser, you know, at the end of the day. When it comes to medicine, you're investing in yourself and your future. So if you take that leap of faith and you invest in yourself, I'm pretty sure once you are determined and, you know, your focus, you will complete successfully, right?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So we talked about just, you know, what you need to get into medical school, what medical school looks like, the finances, and you gave us a little bit about the scholarship. What advice would you give someone that is trying to get into medical school or is possibly in medical school now, currently experiencing it? I'll tell you what my advice is. But what is your advice for someone like that?
So as Monique said before, you need to be determined. You want to know that this is what you want, because if you're doing it for any other reason, then it's going to be extremely difficult for you. It's possible just the same, but it's going to take more effort and more work from you. So you need to have determination and know there are things that are going to throw you off, like finance and things you have to deal with. But you have to remember your goal, what you need to achieve, and do what it takes to get there. There are friends in medical school who will help you along the way. There are other persons there struggling just like you, right? And you just have to do what it takes, and yeah, just do it. Just do it.
Like Nike.
Like Nike. Just do it. Just do it. Right.
Alright. Well, my takeaway points would be, or encouragement, I should say, would be, one, ensure that this is something that you love. This is something that you really want to do.
Passion.
Right? You have to be passionate about it. You don't come into medicine to be a doctor to be rich. It's not for being a glorified professional. It's not for the aesthetics of what the medical profession is. And you have to be determined, you have to decide that this is what I want to do. I am going to persevere even when, the work gets hard, you get tired, you're not understanding a subject. Failures are possible, and at the end of the day, you just have to love what you do. And this is not just medicine, this is any profession, any job, profession that you want, you can achieve it. I believe that once you can think it, you can achieve it. You just have to ensure that you persevere. But you must love what you do at the end of the day. Right. You must be in it for the long haul, because you're not going to do it for 5 years and then, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. You must be passionate about it, right? And it's not about the money. So if you think it's for the money, I don't believe it is the right.
Now that you've raised that point about the money, I think that the tuition is so expensive. I think a lot of my classmates and myself begs the question that, are we going to make back the money that we spend in medical school?
Well, Damar, this was not a part of the discussion. Alright, so guys, if you would like to know how much a Jamaican doctor makes, type it in the comments below. If I get 100 comments saying that you want to know how much we make, I'll drop that video. That video will be linked in the description if you guys really want to know.
Alright guys, so please get this video 100 comments, even more, even 1,000, to show her that you really want to see this video, because I want to. Alright, I'm really looking forward to that video so much.
Definitely. And just to briefly say that not all doctors are paid on the same pay scale, because there are different types of doctors, different levels, and I'll definitely break it down so you can see what the average doctor makes.
Average doctor.
The average doctor. And I'll even tell you how much I make.
Right.
Yeah, I'll show you my pay slip.
Right.
It's fine, I'm good. I have no problem showing you guys.
Right.
So if you are interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments below. Share the video with some of your friends. Alright? Are you aspiring to be a doctor? For all my aspiring medical students, what is your favorite subject? My favorite subject was bio. And I love math, of course. Damar, what was your favorite?
Well, I think a lot of people will disagree with the math, especially in Jamaica. A lot of people don't like mathematics, but mine was actually chemistry.
Right?
Right, I loved chemistry up until because the transition from pure applied chemistry to Cape chemistry was a bit much. Yeah. But I loved chemistry, and I also loved math.
And you also did a degree in biochem, right?
Yeah, I did a degree in biochemistry.
Right, yeah.
So hence, I would like chemistry.
Yeah. Super smart, guys. Super smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a smart one. You're the doctor after all.
I'm the doctor after all.
Right.
Can I get a halo there? Alright, guys. This has been fun. If you really enjoyed the content, smash the like button. Come on.
Give that big thumbs up, guys.
Yeah, definitely. It's Dr. Neek. I would just love to thank soon to be Dr. Najir. Right? Alright, definitely guys, it's been real. We definitely enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy it, share with some of your friends. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, what are you doing? Subscribe, come on.
Right.
Stop playing with me. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. And if you want to see that next video, drop it in the comments below. Dr. Neek and soon to be Dr. Najir on a big up on yourself.
Big up on yourself.
Not really. You saw the last video by the pool wearing cosmo bado.
You can see the video.
I never cussed nobody. It was staged. It was staged, guys. It really was.
Look at like one swimsuit, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
I did not say anything. It was staged. I'm sticking by it. Staged. I did it. It's a clickbait. Y'all got clicked. Baited. Good?
What's free about the camera?
They say you should show yourself when you're talking.
What show?
It gives you more energy. It looks even more energetic. Watch my TikTok videos. Most of the times I'm screaming at the camera. Let's get into it.
Alright, so guys, I'm Damar Najir. I am a third-year medical student and I also have a YouTube channel. So,
Yeah.
Chop chop.
oh, wait, what over my part or you do everything? No, this over my part.
You're pretty. What gonna do over everything? You're currently at